Today's tip is about feeling guilty about moving your loved one into a community. Hi, it's me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. First, the big question at a support group always is, when is it time to move mom or dad or my loved one into a community? And we talk about that. And then next, many times caregivers make the decision, but the guilt is unbearable. I always say to them, the first thing I say to them is, did you cause this disease? And of course they didn't cause the disease. So I think that's one reason to feel a little less guilty. The next thing they always say all the time is, I always promised Mom. Mom said, don't ever put me in a nursing home. I always promised her I wouldn't. I promised my husband when we got married, till death do us part, in sickness and in health, you know, the whole deal. And that I would take care of him all the time. I promised my dad that when he was on his deathbed that I would never abandon Mom. You haven't abandoned Mom. You haven't done anything wrong. You're just being a better caregiver. Because usually the only time we're going to move them into a community is when they're not safe at home anymore, when you don't have enough eyes to watch them 24/7, where they may go out of the house and wander and get hurt, where you may not be able to fully monitor their medication. But by moving them into a community, they can do that. And I'm sure you're not just going to move them into a community and never go back. You'll be visiting them on a regular basis. You will still be their caregiver. You will still be their number one person. You will just have a team to help you. Then the next one is, I hear all the time is, I'm not as good a caregiver as I should be. First of all, unfortunately, caregivers don't get any awards. Most of the caregivers I know do a darn good job. Yes, but you know what? I have to put my loved one into a community because I just can't handle it. But my friend, she can take care of her mother at home. Well, maybe her mother doesn't have the issues that your mother has. Maybe she can afford to have someone come in 24/7 at home. Maybe she has a big family or a team that already works with her. Oh, but, you know, when I decided to move Mom into community, my brother told me, you're just lazy. You're just lazy. You just don't want to take care of Mom. Well, maybe your brother has to come and stay at the house for like a month and see what it's like. Because caregivers aren't lazy. Caregivers don't have an opportunity to be lazy. Caregivers are moving all day long. Many times taking care of their own family also. We have that sandwich generation. Oh my goodness. They're taking care of their own kids and their parents. My husband's daughter, from his first marriage, hates that I'm dumping her dad in a home. I'm not dumping her dad in a home. Maybe she would like him to come and move into her home. Usually the ones that have the most opinions are not the ones that are around helping. Or they call up and they think you should do this and you should do that. And you go and you plan everything and you try to make changes and then they want to buck you. Another thing to think about is how much stimulation is your loved one having at home? How much socialization? Many times I find that when their loved one moves into a community, the caregiver says, oh my goodness, Mom's playing cards again. Oh my goodness, Mom is in a group singing. You can't entertain 24/7 in your home. Communities have regular people that come in and do entertainment. They have activities directors. They have crafts. They have things to do. So it's really important to think about those things too, because the less stimulation they have, the less socialization they have, the sooner their decline is, or the more rapid their decline is. If they're just home all the time, just sitting around watching television, or you're trying to work from home maybe and take care of the rest of your family and do everything else, there's no time for that. But in a community, there are people that will do that. And I've never, ever heard anyone say to me, my mom went into a community and stopped doing things. They always say, Mom went into a community and absolutely loved it. The most important thing in making the decision is, are they safe? And if they are safe at home and you want to keep them home, that is fine. But if they are no longer safe at home, it's time for them to go to a community. Also, if you feel like you're ready to jump off the bridge, your exhaustion is unbearable, your head is constantly spinning, the fear that they're going to fall and get hurt is there all the time, you need to do it for yourself. I have seen caregivers die before their loved one, and then the worst scenarios come true. Their loved one gets moved into a community maybe they never even know anything about. So make your plans. Don't feel guilty. And if you do feel guilty, come to one of my support groups. We'll help you get rid of that guilt. Tune in next week for another tip, sponsored by Arden Courts, where all they do is memory care. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and have a delicious day.